I'm saying, so I'm not just reading, I'm reading in multiple languages. Like
How old are you at
I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year from the time that I'm 8 years old to the time that I'm 12.
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
The guy that sits on top right now have taken advantage of all the money that I have. I've shot over 56 specials for the up-and-coming generation of comedy. Why? Because I'm trying to create opportunities for others. So rather than complaining about it, I'm fixing it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I also take full responsibility for any and everything that I've done in the business, good or bad. My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions?
You're fired. You're fired.
Are you serious? He is gone.
Hey, if somebody tell me about this tomorrow, I'm
People, boo. Your breath smells like top ramen. Get the out of here, nigga.
I am like afraid to leave, and I'm afraid to stay.
We know you ain't got no money. We see your outfit, nigga. Get the out of here. Oh, broke ass nigga. Huh? Thank you. Appreciate it. Love you too. Thank you. I'm trying to talk to people that don't like me right now. Where they at? Well, then you know what to do there.
Yeah, Katt, you got some explaining to do, bro.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Man, welcome back to another episode of the Ruling Class Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Diddy, back up in this witch with another video. Listen, if you're new to the show, please know we are thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you a sec to do that. Help me out. Just hit that like button. I really appreciate it. All right, I appreciate you. So look, Katt Williams. Listen, now that the dust has settled and we're able to think a little bit more clearly now and we're able to reflect a little bit because the entire internet is talking about Katt Williams and his explosive interview that he just did with Shannon Sharpe. And now that the dust has settled, I got some questions for Katt Williams, bro. Because I know I'm going to get some pushback for this because everybody's on the Katt Williams train. But what tends to happen is when you have a person to come out and say a lot of things that people have been saying behind the scenes, but you got somebody now in Katt Williams that has status, and he's saying a lot of the same stuff that us everyday folk have been saying for a while, everybody loves it. Not to mention everybody loves the underdog story. But Katt Williams said a lot of things in that interview, bro, that I think, myself included, we tend to overlook because we believe the much bigger stories that he shared. But it was other stuff he was saying that just don't make sense. And I made a list. Let's go down the list of some of the things that Katt Williams said that I think deserves a little bit more of some explaining. You know, a little bit more of an explanation. The first thing he said I want to talk about is he said that he was offered $50 million 4 different times.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times.
Now listen, not saying it didn't happen. Of course, I wouldn't know. Who is me? I'm broke. Right, I'm your average person. I don't know what it's like to be a celebrity, but $50 million 4 different times. I'm sorry. That sounds absurd. I'm just saying. He also said that he's in the best shape of his life or something like that, and right now, at his current age, he could right now run like a 4.2, 4.3, and a 40, and he wasn't. If you watch the episode, he wasn't doing any exaggerating or, you know, any hyperbole. No, the man he wasn't being facetious. He was serious. Shannon didn't challenge him there. We have to challenge some of the things that Katt Williams said, which, by the way, I believe a lot of what he said is true. But he said some stuff that I just don't believe. The Harvey Weinstein part. Do y'all remember that part?
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo.
So you wonder what they did to get that?
I told him no. What y'all do?
He said Harvey Weinstein offered to basically give him fellatio to do inappropriate things to him in front of his entire agency before the Harvey Weinstein story broke. This is what he said. Did you catch what he said right after that? He said he told Harvey Weinstein no, but then continued to come to the movie set where there was, what he say, 3 other black guys there. He was like, I told him no. What did you all do to get here? How did you get there? You told him no. Okay, he still allowed you to be there. Why would you want to be there, though? If this man offered to do that to you, wouldn't you not even want to be a part of his production anymore? Or anything he's affiliated with? Wouldn't you want to go and report him? Wouldn't you assault him? Something? How come we never heard this story? I'm just saying, bro, we got to call a spade a spade. Another thing is, he had a comment where he said, there's God's side, and then there's the other side. It doesn't, the line isn't drawn at race. When people was like, how dare you call out a black man when he called out Michael Jackson and R. Kelly many years ago. People was like, how dare you call out a black person? But Katt Williams was like, the line isn't drawn at race. There's God's side and then there's the other side. And we don't care about the other side. I respect him for that line. I thought that was one of the most powerful things he said in this interview. But let's think about what he said, though. Because if that's the case, and it's God's side, which you are proclaiming to be on that side, let's think about your career, respectfully. Pimp Chronicles, which I think is unequivocally his best stand-up when he was in that green suit. And even in that stand-up, he talked about Hollywood parties. Nothing about a pimp is godly. Nothing about a pimp is virtuous at all. That's very ungodly. And respectfully, because I thought that stand-up was very funny. I actually just watched it earlier today. It's very funny. But it's very funny in a worldly sense. Nothing about that stand-up or your career has been godly, respectfully. I'm just saying, man, we got to call a spade, bro. We got to call a spade. Not to mention, speaking of the Harvey Weinstein thing and him looking out for black people and wanting the best for something like that, he was saying, looking out for other comedians, which he said he has done his entire career or something like that. I guess this went over people's head. He said that Martin Lawrence shows up to this interview and then there was this expectation for him to wear a dress in the Big Mama House movie series that Katt Williams turned down. Okay, what did he say next? He said that he suggested that they offer that role to Brandon T. Jackson. Why would you suggest or encourage another black man that you claim to care about, another black comedian, up-and-coming comedian, to wear a dress if you're not willing to do that? Right? Why offer something like that for him? Another thing is when they talk about, or when Katt Williams just kept saying like having these morals about and having integrity of not wearing a dress and not doing things behind the scene. Just as a quick side note, respectfully to Katt Williams, because like many other people, I love Katt Williams, many of the movie roles. I don't know him as a person. I love what he's done throughout his career, for sure. A Pimp Named Slickback, all that. The dude is hilarious. So this isn't about Katt Williams. Hey, this is just about just saying the truth. Katt Williams, respectfully, bro, yes, you chose to turn down wearing a dress, but if you playing other derogatory roles, deadbeat dad that's locked up in jail, a pimp named Slickback, right? A pimp in the Friday After Next series, all those are derogatory terms. Derogatory roles. Sure, you're not wearing a dress, but you're still doing something that's not honorable. I'm just saying, we calling a spade a spade. And biggest one that we got to talk about. You talk about, which is why I think that it's two things can be true at the same time. He talked about this Kevin Hart thing, and he called out Kevin Hart, and I personally believe that what he said about Kevin Hart is true, personally. But this is why I think it's part of him telling the truth, just to tell the truth, but also because he feels a way because he's not where Kevin Hart is. Again, I think Kevin Hart didn't get there fully generically. I do believe that. So again, I believe what Katt Williams said about Kevin Hart's career. But I also believe that Katt Williams looks at Kevin Hart and there's some, I don't want to say jealousy, but there's resentment. They're both short. They could play very similar roles in movies, and they got this little midget thing going. He feels that he's supposed to be what Kevin Hart is. I'm just saying, a spade a spade. And we gonna pretend like Katt Williams was not seen on camera fighting a 7th grader. We gonna pretend like Katt Williams haven't had some crazy moments at they got this stuff on camera, bro, at his comedy shows. This is not a man who just loses his mind. Respectfully, I've never seen it, so I'm not just gonna say it unequivocally to be true. But just from a distance, from afar, from somebody who have history with people that have done it, respectfully, the behavior and the signs that I see when I look at Katt Williams years ago and all the legal troubles he's dealt with is a person that's doing drugs. Respectfully. He said on the show, and people didn't talk about that very much, he said that he's never done a hard drug in his life. Respectfully, I don't think that that's true. Respectfully. I had an uncle one time who I think, as far as I could tell, had never done drugs, in his right mind, etc., that cut hair. And I started coming around, and he was just slowly changing. And then like 3-4 years later, I ended up stopping getting my hair cut because he was just changing. He was just acting very manic. And then like 6-7 years later, I end up seeing that same person in a neighborhood hanging out in a very drug-infested area. He was just hanging out with a bunch of people over there that are addicted to drugs. And for me, that was my confirmation. There's no reason for you to be hanging out over there. A lot of those same similarities, Katt Williams was showing that and has been showing that the past few years. Sure, in this interview, he seems a lot more coherent, and I'm glad to see that. He looks a lot healthier. But it's no secret this man has a very lengthy jail, history. He has, all sorts of things. Like, you fought a 7th grader, bro. Why are you even in that scenario, that predicament, in that situation as a man that's worth as much as you are? Right? People pretending not to do that. But let's get back to this dress thing just real quick. And my biggest and my last point is him talking about the dress thing. Because every time he speaks about Dave Chappelle, he's praising Dave Chappelle.
The one comedian that we've been sitting here doing this interview that you hold in very high regard is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million. You said it was more. Tell the story.
It wasn't. People say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened.
But you know what he didn't talk about with Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle wore a dress. Twice. And not only that, Katt Williams knows it. He's a comedian connoisseur, right? He studied all these people. Every time he speaks about Dave Chappelle, it's in high praise, never anything negative. He's defending the thing that, Dave Chappelle didn't just turn down 50 millions. They tried to, emasculate him with the whole dress thing. Dave Chappelle wore a dress, bro, and you know it.
Robin's gonna do the news, and we got some great guests coming in. Hey, what are you guys laughing at so much? I think I banned them too much, jerks. All right, let's plug a new video of Baba Boobie's Bonanza. Robin, you show the tape. What do you think of it?
Well, Howard,
Hey, Robin, what's the matter with you? You have a goal?
as a matter of fact, I do.
Really? That's probably a chest goal. Hey, Robin, you taking temperature?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just stick the thermometer.
And you just saw that clip. Not only did Dave Chappelle wear a dress, but he has on lipstick, earrings, and in my opinion, he not only wore a dress, but he played that role in the most zestiest way that I've seen any other black comedian play in a role outside of the Wayans brothers and probably, Martin Lawrence with Shanae and probably Jamie Foxx. He was very zesty in that video. And he wore a dress another time. In this role right here, this is I forget the name of this type of dress right here. But as you see him, that's a purse and that's him wearing a dress. What are we talking about? Dave Chappelle wore a dress, which is my final point. If Dave Chappelle wore a dress twice and he was extremely zesty while doing it, you're not going to talk about Dave Chappelle. Why? If this is the age of truth, as you say, why are you not calling out Dave Chappelle? What is this really about? Call a spade, right? If you really about truth, you're going to call out the fact that, okay, Dave Chappelle turned down the dress as Dave Chappelle, infamously told us and left and went to Africa. But then now Dave Chappelle is right back working for many of those same people because Netflix is Hollywood. Many of those same people for, I believe, another $50 million deal. You're not going to talk about how you working for those same people? That bread ran a little short. If you are in that world, you are in that world. And for Katt Williams to even reach it to the point that he made, personally, I believe that he did some compromising. We just got to call a spade a spade. Now that the dust has settled, a lot of people not going to like this. Again, I'm going to state this for the record. I think Katt Williams said a lot of things in that interview that were true. That's why a lot of people are not going to call him a lie. But Katt Williams said some stuff, bro, that we got to question and we got to challenge it. And we should be able to do that. If you want to call a spade, call a spade a spade.
I'm saying, so I'm not just reading, I'm reading in multiple languages. Like
How old are you at
I'm
the time?
probably reading 3,000 books a year from the time that I'm 8 years old to the time that I'm 12.
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
You a part of that world too, bro. Hop in the comment section. Give me y'all thoughts. What do y'all think about this? I hope this is my last video about the Katt Williams situation. I just had to call it out. Until next time, man. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.